Next, chapter 19. Remember, they had in Ephesus there was some wonderful, really amazing things happening.
Neither can a payment preparing a put him at do shit da and ba payment herder the SEAO V Efesukuno has an estimate that they meet Jenny or in Nago.
People were able to see the great power of God that happened through the work of Kupalu.
Midday mabber V Efesukun Hama. Beautiful see the one V Efesu pussy the heat lovely no. I met her to turn a beer go header a mitation red, the prepare do batten. I met her number ku Palu me without a binago.
And there was a great deal of false religion and actually the working with demons in this area.
Mitaba we go to Vinama Metano and Yana KSC Gucho Besulosi to Panada, it the Kinik no te pita meu ine ko
And people were able to see the difference between God's power and the power of people trying to work with demons.
mena ki esi na method to na be na da chomre te ra du bat te chomre te pita mena mai te to na da ki esi te he asi pya lau ho chomre mui to ba mana amnin ne na ma mi te na da te kini ki no si no a khon ne pa te na method na ko
And if you, let's read verse, would you play verse 17? This tells us what happened.
Verse 17
Right.
Mama pu shinyo
Puna, Yuda Puna, Mutual Ru, Green Mutual Puder, OBVAP to Akunu the He, New Her Lovely Demi Tutia and Ne Eat. Ra as she say is he lovely Toro, as she be do Zunya, Ra to Setia Nila Yabia te Yishu Amui.
And this is this was known to all the Jews and the Gentiles dwelling at Ephesus, and fear fell on them all, and the name of the Lord Jesus was magnified. So I mean that's what that verse said.
ni ba pu na ma ke si la lopli na singe ko he juru pu pe juru pu ma to be lopli ma singe na da bia se shu kri lango ha na ba bana ke na esi tu ta cha lopli chomra mi ko bia se shu kri mi ko
It says in the next verse that many people believed on the Lord Yeshua, and they spoke and they said openly that they became followers.
ni ba bi hangi ta ma na mai shu pe na da ke esi au in ne ko da esi ju e ke ha da bia se shu kri ha ai na ko na ba esi a he na ma he the lo li na ai be the ko
And it also says, and they showed their deeds.
to ba hi po na da esi a he tho na da esi tho kri pu ai na ma na da a do me da a me ka chomre te pita me ka
So they didn't just say that they were followers. Something dramatic happened in each one of their lives.
mà ba esi o he tu ba ma esi tho ke ha kri pu ha a ji chum la ngo ha he tu ma to ga da te pre ji chum la ngo ha ne ma da esi ne esi ngi na ha te chi to the ga
And we could play verse 19.
ama ma pu shida
Kaya e the he a cleaner, the he hero, a two kine kino sara, ra a pie ya nila ya, a leader, a jo isuniku, the me either ulo a re a kiano the hero, a ya isu ukiana mido, kaya the blue the pay a messenye. As the diamia, long li e the he anguna, a taru jinya soka leja, the chom.
So the lives of these people, they showed that something, by what they did, they showed that something had really changed in their hearts.
ni ba po ai shu pe na mai na da u pre ji ke chum la ngo ba vi f su ku te he na ko he lo pli ji chum la ngo ha ne ma da esi te to pre ku na ma ko ya ne ke he cha ko ko
Now, these people had spent a great deal of money in the things that they used in their worship of false God.
mi te ke esi te he na ma a to na e ne ru si ko ha da ke lu ke esi ku cho be su a ku cho be chum la ro si na ma a te a min a te a lo in ne na ru ko
So they brought their they had purchased many books that had incantations in those. You understand what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
They had books full of incantations.
mina da esi ke lu ke na ma a pri no in ne sa o si da ma sa na da li sa o si na ko ha ke na pa da chi ne ma tho the pa he mi no ko sa na sa o da ke ne a he the de ne ma ke ne ke no me be pe si pa na
So these books would have spells in them that if they had a certain disease, they were to use this incantation. If they wanted to expel a demon, they would use this incantation?
Mina da esi sa oku si na ma ai show ko ha ken na ki te pre at the show the chur na ba si me me ken na ma be pa ba to phu na ba be he the te chu tu at the show me to na da ki te pre na ma kin ni ki no ra ku ne ma be pa ba to phu tu kin ni ki no si che na ba kle ka the ke ya hi ma.
So as we see here, and as we will see a little later, there was much money involved.
Mina da pe met ha ku ne pa to ba chan no pa ne ma da eti esi ku cho be su si te he si na ma ru si ali pre ali to si na ma oi ne ja ba.
It was a big business.
Mina da ite ai che ma sa o si te he si na te he si ma sa na da u che na te he na ha ni in ne ru si na ko u pre che na ma sa na a che tu ne ne ho no ko.
Now, apparently, what it is, apparently the people that were astonished were apparently the unsaved who were watching what was going on. Astonished by these people being willing to burn their expensive books.
Who were astonished?
Well, it sounds like it is the unsaved people who were watching what was going on.
Menan ba an phon mai show sa na show ko ha mi te ki asi the he khalu khen cinema ai pri no sa o si ni ma ngu du ne cha ha ko me na asi pri to ma to ko pri e block te blue jo ko ha na ba mi te kun ne ji ke cham na ngo cinema a chu vi ke ka lo na he na ba ki asi da close ya me thar na ma to ke sa na da asana ta pa cha lu bi si ta pa lu ka.
They saw the great number of books being burned, and they understood that there was this expressed an incredible amount of money.
Mina mi te ke se me thar lo pli na me thar na no ko he da ke si te he a chu ke sa o si te he si na ma cha sa o chu ma hu da ngu du ne cha mana esi na a me a khu sap te to a me vi ke lo ke.
Now it says it was the equivalent to the people that saw this. They thought, wow, this is equivalent to 50,000 pieces of silver.
Ma me na ha me thar ma ke ra gloss me thar na ko ha chu sa o si a chu ke lo pli na ma lo pli u pri sa o si na ma au
Now, we don't know what kind of money that they were talking about, but we know it was silver, and we know it was a very large amount of money.
I think they have like an idea because they used to have like silver coins.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't tell us exactly what type of coin it was. If we knew the type of coin, then we'd be able to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't tell us. It just tells us that they were silver.
Ani mena da esi ru ma ati a log bak te da pe kula ru na esi ru ma ati to bak te ma pe singi che to ko hai.
You know, that is the exciting thing about people truly being converted to Christ.
Ne da pe man tha na ma sana da pe secret lo ne ha da pe ki yesi nge si a thwa ke da a vi ke lo ate ku cho bera a si na ko na ba a thwa ke kripu si na ko.
There are many people who pray and ask Christ to save them, but nothing ever changes in their life.
Ne on mi te ki yesi na o te the ko he da ona ku cho be the chom re da mi cho be mi ka be hu shu de ne ba mana da e singi na wa a ko ka te cho ga.
These people, something definitely changed.
Mana da pe me thak yesi te he si na ma me te a vi ke ka lo please o si ndu si ne ma da e si ji e chom re ngo ha ne ma da a si plo ku na ma ko ya ka ne te cho ga.
That's one of the reasons. That's one of the ways we can know whether someone was truly saved.
Mina ho tu ke na ke te pre a ame mi te chu no ha kho ya ne da mi no da ke si ne ma be sin ye ko he da ke ye te pre na ma ni ne da chom re te shop bu ke mi si plek ka ya
And so we might ask ourselves, since I have been saved, have things really changed in my life?
mina una pe bishu de ka pe ngi ko he da mi te chom re mi si plek ka tho pe ya mi si plek tho pe ya ne ma da pe ngi na ma pe te tho pre ku na ma kho ya ne te chu au ke
Notice too with these people that got saved that they did not sell their books to entrap other people. No, they had them burned.
ni pe me ki ya si da efesu bu no ko he da ba me te ji ke chom ngo ha no ha e si no ha ai che ke sa o mani ni ko he ani ka kya se bi cha ni ne ma ma to ko e si na a shu ke lo
I can remember having, I can remember being a Christian and out of, see, as you've heard before, I have from time to time brought books into my library that have been, that have to do with other religions.
ani ma pe ni ho no tho ko he da sra a hi ku na ma sa library ko he o na phyaจะพรีตรงนั้นจะพยาสาโอซีฮูดอบิเชนะสาโอซีเตหินมาอุกุจะเบรารูซีริกันเฮก็
But I can remember once that I brought a book into the house and it turned out to be a very, very well-known book of incantations.
นินเดอร์เคนะมาสราตมันนี่นะอพยานอนนี่สาโอตโอกันมาสาโอตโอนมาสนามุยดูกันเนี่ยฮูดกีเอซีอุเบเฮเทสนาเบเฮดมันเตหินก็อุปมาสนากีเอซีอุเบเมตเปลบิเซซีนะมาอาซิเมเมจักกีเอเจซีเมเมกเตชิเตพิติช่วยเชตเจอเนี่ยมาบิพาดสาโอกุซีนะก็นะสาโอตโอนะมามีนาดูเนี่ยก็
I found out later that this book had great power and I destroyed it.
นี่มีนะเดสรานะสิ่งนี้ก็ใช่ฮะก่อนนะว่านูปานะเดสโอตโอนะมากี่ผ่านนะแต่เห็นเนี่ยมาสนะมียาเจนเนี่ยกี่กุลนนสิกุลนก็เห็นสนะแต่พอไปดูก็มีนั่นตัวสราวิเกwhat do you mean destroy like มีปีกกันเหรอ like you burned it you ripped it you shred it
I think what I did was just threw it in the garbage so it would go into a landfill.
วิเกกันไปแล้ววิเกกันชนไปกัน
I actually don't remember. It was many years ago. But in verse 20, it says that the gospel began to become more and more powerful in this area.
นี่ว่ามาพูดเนี่ยเชนะฮะไอ้เห็นนะเดบ่วีเอฟซูกูนะฮะจงลังโงลิซาเซนะมาอาสนะมุยดูแกแต่ปะดูแกฮะ
At this time, Paul decided that he needed to cross over and do more work here in Greece.
เป็นบ้านอาเคนะมาคูปอลูนะฮะไอ้เฮแกนะเดอาซิเมจาเดทักเกเดบิฮังนี่ตะเกก็เดเอาปีเอาตักตึบลูนะเธอนะก็อาซิจอเดบิงเงเทเกตผูกมีเตมาสนะอาซิโนจอยไอซิจอยชูปูกะเกสินะเดจมรังง
Altogether, Kupalu spent about 3 years in this area of Ephesus.
อันนี้นะคูปอลูเอาจอเลเดเอฟซูวีเอฟซูทำไมเดอะกะชาซีวีกูซีนะมาเอาจอเลมาเอาจะนะโซนนะใช่ป่ะ
Now, at this point in the chapter, it talks about something that is to be expected.
ตัวบ่เป็นแม่พับบ่เอาผัวไหนมาไปพาชื่อมาฮู้เด้ออาสนะเป็ดสิ่งนี้ก็จะตื่นเจ้าก็
Because the gospel is having an impact on the big business of false religion in that area.
มันเต็มมาเด้อ VF สู่อนากะชาซีนะมา memete ete chama la ngosi na ha ete adu ke ne he da te pite me ma hu da ai che sa o si da a i sa su si to ne da ma ete me na da ma me plebi se a ke asi na klosi ne ma sana da pya ga lo cha hu na ko
Let's play several verses. Play verse 23 and through 23 through 27. And as you do, I want you to listen for one of the things to listen for is the name of the goddess, because in our English Bible it uses the word Diana, which is the Roman name for the goddess. But I think actually in the original language and probably in the Korani Bible, it probably uses the Greek name of the goddess, which is Artemis.
Ani ba ku ne na ma pe me ni da ma phu ni she sia tu na ni she tio ko hen ba ni da me da ite ki si the si ma ku chop be the ite chum re phmo amina da te kula te ne ma amina ite Diana ko hemna Diana arana ma da Rome liku no ko mina kera ne penina ne ma he Diana ye tumne da Artemis
Yes.
tumne Artemis hai ni da mani
23 through 27.
Binake the uzu e biache yishu aklia aklo aku aki te biate se du tsu o tia de vi e peju aku prelo rude amuina kudimitri he yet prene allo abiatia biache mu Artemis te lutia hi pude alona rute hira premite puthi ni bui ni teri kunia chona te phite mi ye aku akhi cho phunu aku akhi a eplo lopli a premite puthi na premite pude a temisiana lude a rute hira a he esina
buyasi peduza cha seprena pete phite mi i de che khi prenuma sisenyi du ha kupolo he i de prenu amikra itenuma Semia tini hulo de hona sineho achi luilia pilo una chomra de kia biana ta khute henu chomra ma ta ki do a he phunu ro ai luilia ni ai nya chau te kia ubi vi be chu aku in de he ma ro a phui luilia ni lo cho a sha ke de ke le cho phunu ro sei sina pete phit mi pi kya thudu ba be zo na Pama udah dusunya ke pa biasa mu Artemis te coba hodo asyik te kile na hebushi balo coba calo pli Artemis ma bezona biasa mu Artemis amui luti luke yinu pama asimikya he
I can't emphasize this enough. The worship. Oh, by the way, what is it? Artemis?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. Is that? I think it's better than using Diana, because in the Greek, in the original language of the New Testament, it's Artemis.
Oh, okay.
But this worship of Diana was just as the silversmith said, the worship of Diana was not only great in this area, but he said in all the world. So in other words, in all the known world, the Roman Empire, this was a powerful religion.
Ninda peninda na mahina da upre ju e manda te biasa me ahina Artemis na ko he amuna dugene ne ke siasana hiku ba singi che ahina ko da hiku ba lo pli mahida Rome pusi te thake gusi na ko he sina singi lo tomne aku chobe thema ite tamre mo te pre ko
The temple at Ephesus was so magnificent that it was counted as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
The temple of Diana?
The temple of Artemis.
Ninda ba miteda vi Ephesus kuno ko he si sana te kusoro o kuma da amepe ma ite wasi amma Artemis ngi na ko he ite adu atu ne ne at sana ami du ne ne na ho ahina da hikutuba kunama ide da hi si tamne de da sraku de kusraku si amui dudu na malal pima o susana tku na ko hena ba de ba au ba efesu ku na ma da au pa ka ban da susat ku na.
If you lived anywhere else in the world and you could tell your friends that you had been to the temple of Artemis, wow.
Mina da ite ne upatir phote be ko heda nei chho tho ka ne khubasa si ne khosina da ma vecha ulina tho ka hada ite te kusra ku da bias ama ite aretmi ate hoku ne ma azana khosi ne ma azana ade du ne ke yet ade du ne ne hungla.
And you could, when you were at Ephesus, you could, as a traveler, you could purchase some of the things that the silversmiths made.
Magena ne chau le no ka da efesu vigu ne ma upre me te chichu na da ru sin hi no ko hen ru ne metal te timdo ru la sin de ne ma ne pri no ka esi me thot te chichu sin no.
I've heard some of these things described as being boxes where it would have a small statue of Artemis.
Te he sin ma ahina da upre me thot the ma se ru la si the na ma me thot dap te chichu to sin no ko hasana te na ma me thot ma da ite biasa ma aritmi te dapung no ba de ma te sana paku to sin no.
And so that is why this silversmith is getting the crowds together and telling them this man Kupalu is destroying our business and he is causing shame upon the great goddess Artemis.
Mena da uprimit mina ruler si na te he sina go asa me thot the bet chi sina ahina ai shoke sina o mana kupalu od pre na wa he swa kana da akuchomre od pre na wa ame me pya lo ga pe te mesia sana da ite ai swa sina ma ahi mu me ahi sho ma pe chomre mo ma Artemis aretami.
Would you play verse 28?
Aratami.
Ihu te hibe I te hira esi se plodu no to ro esi et hotia lona
ebe chu bia chemu Artemis I de prema atri du tri thung nya ta.
So all the crowds are shouting, "Great is Artemis of the Ephesians."
Ni mena da esi he plush lu no ha una ai thot na da hina da esi bia se mo te aratmi na ma tere tu dule ahina.
When a crowd is excited like this, things can get very much out of control.
Ni ona ke si plodu a he plush lu lo au na ba a si plodu hu no si ne ma ona hu ko pe metha ne ma esi kelu kena masana esi help lo abrebe pe ne mana me te asiplo du asiplo a pren glossy ne ma a preli bana da ite atomu meke esana ona sivu shilu a shi shilu no kana a preli be ko.
When you have a situation like this is a riot and very bad things can happen.
Ma urai ma himeti mandara kesi picture da man lekin park ma pe ki ma thama vithe.
And at this point Kupalu wanted to go in and speak to the crowds.
Nimuna ba kena ma da Kupalu no hasi me he me tha shu ma kesi plus shu no ba si me he be shulu.
We're going to stop right there. Any questions?